Welcome in to UGR News. A little bit of news off the top to give y'all some information as to what's going on. We're going to be doing a little bit of rebranding in the near future. Going to be coming out with some new logos and new designs for the page. And we're going to be changing the name, and now we're going to be UGR News. And the UGR stands for Underground Railroad News. But that will not change my catchphrase, because today I call shenanigans on gun control. The problem with gun control is racist. It's racist in its conception, and it's racist in the way that it's been put out there. Black people do not have access to guns to the degree that other people do. This is a fact. Which is why in poor neighborhoods where we have surges in gun violence, in shootings, in things of that nature, in violent crimes, it's because there's a black market for guns. This is what happens when you take away people's fundamental right to have access to something that they're legally entitled to under our Constitution. Okay? All of these cities that have these increased gun control laws are some of the most lawless and violent cities out there. You have cities like Chicago, Detroit, New York. My little city of Petersburg has one of the highest death per capita. Baltimore. These are the places where there's a surge in gun violence and death of young black people. But there's not any concern for the death of hundreds of young black men every year due to violence in the street. No, there's concern when someone goes out and a nut job shoots a bunch of people. The deterrent to that is we have an armed society. That was the entire point, so that our government could not come in and take away our rights. And this is what we have going on right now. Freedom, you can't have freedom without dumb, all right? And that means that we have a chance to make dumb decisions. But those are our decisions to make. We live in a world where I believe in meritocracy, and I believe in getting your goals accomplished. But when you have bureaucrats who sit behind a desk who don't know the difference between a magazine and a clip, who don't know the difference between automatic and semi-automatic weapons, making laws because they look at a gun and the gun scares them. There's no difference between one pistol and another pistol. It's just how it looks, and it's how it makes you feel. And that's what we're dealing with now. We're dealing with a society of over-emotional people. We need to take a step back and look at this the way that it should be looked at. The NRA was founded with the premise of putting guns in the hands of freed slaves who hadn't yet learned to read and didn't know that they had a right to protect themselves. All right? A lot of these organizations that they say are against us were actually founded for us, to make us strong, all right? It's time for us to take back what is ours. And whether that means restoring the Republican Party to its initial form or reshaping the Democrat Party into what it says it's supposed to be, because there is no more liberalism in the Liberal Party, and conservatism has flown out of the window years ago. So we need to stand together and come together as people, but more importantly, the black community, and support each other to figure out what it is we want to do, what values we want to share with the world. And part of that strength is being able to take care of and protect your family. That's why I wholeheartedly believe that gun control laws and laws aimed at taking guns out of the hands of law-abiding citizens is racist, and it is wrong. And the key word to all of this is the word law. You're talking about people who follow the law. Law-abiding citizens will not break the law. That's implied by the term law-abiding. So all you're doing is you're restricting people who would use their guns for good, to save, or maybe to help others. And you're shackling us, and you're putting these restraints on us. Don't tread on me. It's more than just a flag. It's more than just a saying. It actually means something. Now, whether or not the people that founded this country were good, bad, or indifferent, I do not care. It does not concern me at this point in the least. What does concern me are the words that they put down on paper and the way that those words can be and should be interpreted. That's what bothers me. We were dealing with men who had come through tyranny and knew what it was to try to fight up from that. No one is perfect. No land is perfect. But let's not ignore the good, because we're all obsessed with the bad. And our constant state of instant gratification. We no longer look back and see with reverence what our lifetimes have come. And the things that I've seen grow throughout my lifetime, it's a wondrous world that we live in. But I will not be scared and forced into a corner not to speak my mind because of the culture police and because of the woke mob. This will not happen, and I will refuse to bow down, because it is time for black men especially to stand up and have our voices heard and no longer be torn down every time we make positive steps in the right direction. At the end of the day, regardless of what you believe, the truth of the matter is black people suffer more at the hands of gun violence than any. So any law that you put on the books that restrict victims' ability to get their hands on the means of protecting themselves is in and of itself racist and flawed. That's why I believe gun control laws are racist. And I am Cecil Khalid Mark. You catch me on Twitter at Cecil Khalid. Like, share, comment, give me suggestions. I'm open to all things. And as always, love you guys. See you next time.